For all their power, wands can't do everything. They can conjure fire, summon objects across a room, and end life. But there are magical laws and protections that even the most skilled witch or wizard cannot break. In this video, we'll go through everything wands can't do, according to canon. Wands can't conjure true food. One of the most important magical limits is written into what is known as Gamp's law of elemental transfiguration. Hermione explains in Deathly Hallows that food is one of its principal exceptions. No witch or wizard can create food from nothing. They can summon food from elsewhere if they know its location. They can enlarge portions that already exist, and they can transform one food into another. But they cannot produce entirely new edible food. This is why even the Room of Requirement cannot simply create meals, and why Hogwarts feasts rely on the kitchens and the house elves who work there. Wands can't undo certain forms of magic. Some spells leave marks that no counter curse can erase. Death itself is the most absolute example. No incantation or charm can bring back a life once lost. The Resurrection Stone does not undo death. It only summons faint shadows of the departed. The Unbreakable Vow is another limit. If a witch or wizard breaks the vow, death is instantaneous. There is no reversing it. Curses can also leave damage that resists all healing. The Longbottoms remain permanently broken by prolonged exposure to the Cruciatus curse. Memory charms can collapse completely if cast improperly, as Gilderoy Lockhart shows when his wand backfires. Even Dumbledore could only contain, not cure, the spreading curse on his blackened hand after he destroyed the Ring Horcrux. These cases raise a larger question. If death, vows, and some curses are beyond reversal, are there also defenses that remain completely untouched by spells? That leads us into another boundary. What shields cannot block? Wands can't block everything. The shield charm, Protego, is one of the most versatile spells in dueling, but it does not provide absolute protection. The Killing Curse is described as unblockable by ordinary magic. When cast, the only defenses that have worked are physical barriers, animated statues during Dumbledore's duel, or extraordinary protections such as Lily Potter's sacrifice. Even other spells can overpower shields if the caster is skilled enough or pours in enough magical force. Some attacks bypass Protego entirely, such as Fiendfire, which acts more like a living force than a projectile. This shows that even a perfect duelist must rely on movement, cover, or counterattacks, not simply a barrier. But if shields can fail, what about protections that prevent any spell from working at all? This is where wards and magical boundaries come in, places where even the most powerful wand is useless. Wands can't bypass wards and anti-apparition fields. Some places in the wizarding world are sealed so tightly that no spell can penetrate them. Hogwarts is the clearest example. Within the castle grounds, no one can apparate or disapparate. Even Dumbledore, one of the most powerful wizards alive, takes Harry beyond the gates before sight-along apparition. This is not a matter of skill, but of law. Spatial magic is blocked outright. Other wards add different layers of restriction. Muggle-repelling charms cause non-magical people to suddenly remember urgent business and turn away. Unplottable charms prevent locations from being charted on maps. The age line Dumbledore draws around the Goblet of Fire proves that a simple circle of enchantment can nullify the efforts of every underage student, no matter how clever they are. Each of these examples shows that a ward acts not as a challenge for magic to overcome, but as a system that overrides it completely. But if locations can be made invulnerable, what about protections bound to people instead of places? That's where blood and sacrifice create barriers no wand can break. Wands can't override blood magic and ancient protections. Some of the strongest defenses in wizarding history are tied not to spells, but to sacrifice and kinship. When Lily Potter gave her life for Harry, her protection became woven into his very blood. Dumbledore later extended this magic by placing Harry with Petunia Dursley, his last living relative. As long as Harry could call her house his home, Voldemort could not touch him there. No curse, no counterspell, not even Voldemort's own wand could undo that ward until Harry came of age. This kind of defense is ancient, predating many of the charms wizards commonly use. Even Voldemort acknowledged it when he called Lily's sacrifice old magic that he failed to understand. These protections show that a wand, however powerful, cannot reach beyond the laws of life and death that magic itself rests on. But if blood ties can keep someone safe, are there other enchantments that lock secrets away just as completely? The Fidelius charm is the clearest proof that even the cleverest spells cannot uncover what a secret keeper refuses to share. Wands can't uncover secrets hidden by the Fidelius charm. The Fidelius charm takes secrecy to its absolute extreme. It hides information inside a single living soul, the secret keeper, Unless that person willingly speaks the secret aloud, no spell can reveal it. Grimmauld Place, for example, remained invisible until Harry was told by Dumbledore, who held the secret at the time. The house appeared only after the knowledge was given. This charm is more than concealment. Even if a wizard searches the right street, they will not find the hidden house. Even if they cast every revealing charm they know, they will uncover nothing. The information itself is magically locked, and wands cannot break it open. It is only when the secret keeper chooses to speak that the barrier falls. If a location can be made immune to every spell in this way, what about artifacts that resist magic just as completely? That leads us to the most famous cloak in wizarding history, the true invisibility cloak, one of the deathly Hallows. Wands can't pierce the true invisibility cloak. Most invisibility cloaks in the wizarding world are temporary. They are woven with spells or enchanted with hair from a magical creature like a demi-guise. Over time, their magic fades, and sharp spells such as Hominum Revelio or other revealing charms can expose the wearer. But Harry's cloak is different. This cloak is one of the 3 Deathly Hallows. Unlike copies, it provides permanent and perfect concealment. Xenophilius Lovegood explains that it offers constant and impenetrable concealment, no matter what spells are cast at it. That means no revealing spell can expose its wearer, no summoning spell can pull it away, and no curse can unravel its fabric. The cloak is resistant because it is not merely enchanted clothing, it is a relic born of death itself. If even revealing charms cannot touch the cloak, are there places where spells are stripped away altogether, leaving no trace? Gringotts provides the answer with a defense that erases enchantments completely, the Thief's Downfall. Wands can't resist the Thief's Downfall at Gringotts. Gringotts Bank is protected not just by dragons and goblins, but by enchantments that counter wizard magic itself. The most striking is the Thief's Downfall, a waterfall hidden deep inside the vault passages. When a cart passes beneath it, every enchantment is washed away. Disguises vanish instantly. Polyjuice Potion stops working, revealing the person's true form. Protective charms such as Impervious or Disillusionment are stripped as if they had never been cast. Even high-level enchantments woven by skilled witches and wizards cannot withstand the downfall. It doesn't block spells, it cancels them outright. This shows that some magical constructs exist outside the normal rules of dueling or charm breaking. Instead of being resisted, spells are erased. And if Gringotts can strip away enchantments, what about creatures that naturally resist or require highly specific counters? That is where Inferi, Dementors, and others push wands to their limits. Wands can't control or destroy certain creatures with ordinary spells. The magical world holds beings that defy standard curses. Inferi, corpses reanimated through dark magic, cannot be stunned or disarmed. They shrug off most spells. The only reliable counter is fire, which forces them back and destroys their hold. A wizard who relies on typical dueling magic would quickly be overwhelmed. Dementors are another example. They are immune to hexes and jinxes. No simple charm will drive them away. The only defense is the Patronus charm, which requires positive emotion and focus, not brute magical power. Without it, even a skilled witch or wizard would be consumed by despair. Other beings, like trolls or giants, highlight the same rule in a different way. While they are not invulnerable, sheer magical force rarely works. They must be handled with strategy or overwhelming teamwork. Each of these examples shows that certain creatures fall outside the reach of standard spells, demanding counters that are narrow, difficult, or dangerous. But if some living beings resist ordinary magic, what about transformations and curses that permanently change the victim? These too often lie beyond the power of any wand to undo. Wands can't reverse certain transformations or magical laws. Some forms of magic alter reality in ways that cannot be undone. The Unbreakable Vow is the clearest example. When a wizard breaks it, death follows instantly. No counter curse exists, and no wand can prevent the magic from enforcing its promise. Other transformations also carry permanence. Lycanthropy, the curse of the werewolf, cannot be healed. Wolfsbane Potion can manage the condition, but it cannot cure it. Once bitten, the change is lifelong. Similarly, cursed wounds such as those inflicted by dark spells may only be contained, not healed. Dumbledore's blackened hand after destroying the ring Horcrux is a striking example. Snape could slow its spread but not remove it. Even vanishing spells show this principle. When something is truly vanished, it cannot simply be conjured back. The object has been removed from existence in a way that a wand cannot reverse. These examples remind us that magic is not only powerful, but binding. Once certain limits are crossed, there is no going back. But if magic can set transformations and curses that can't be undone, What about secrets of the mind and identity? Here too, wands meet barriers they cannot breach. Wands can't always pierce the mind or identity of others. Legilimency allows a skilled wizard to probe thoughts and memories, but occlumency can stop it completely. When practiced well, occlumency acts like a locked door. No spell can force the mind open. This is why Snape is able to block Harry's attempts, and why Voldemort himself struggles when Harry's mind gains resistance. Memory magic also shows its limits. A spell like Obliviate can remove memories, but recovery is uncertain. Damaged minds, such as Bertha Jorkins after Crouch tampered with her, reveal that once memories are shattered, they may never return. Even magical law enforcement relies on Obliviators carefully balancing risk, because an overpowered memory charm can break beyond repair. Identity spells and transformations also reach walls. If memory and thought can resist magic, what about the physical world? Here too, there are hard rules, things that magic cannot conjure, repair, or fake. Wands can't conjure or repair certain objects. Gamp's law of elemental transfiguration sets absolute limits on creation. Food is the best known example, but other categories exist. Gold cannot be created out of nothing. Attempts to do so result in unstable substitutes, as seen with leprechaun gold, which vanishes after a short time. Precious items like money or rare resources follow the same rule. They can be multiplied or summoned, but not conjured in a true, lasting form. Destroyed or vanished objects are also beyond recovery. When something is vanished with a vanishing spell, it is considered removed from existence. No charm can call it back. Similarly, objects cursed into ruin often retain the damage no matter how many repairing charms are attempted. Wizards may patch the surface, but the curse lingers beneath. This means wands are not engines of endless creation. They bend rules of matter and shape, but they cannot overturn the foundations of magical law. Yet even Hogwarts itself, a place brimming with enchantments, demonstrates that these rules hold strong. The castle's most adaptable space, the Room of Requirement, shows both what wands can achieve and what they cannot. Wands can't force the Room of Requirement beyond its limits. The Room of Requirement is one of the most flexible magical spaces in Hogwarts. It can transform itself into a training hall, a hiding place, or even a fully stocked room for meetings. But despite this adaptability, it does not ignore the fundamental limits of magic. For example, it cannot create true food. When Dumbledore's army used it for practice, they could summon dummies and cushions, but they still relied on the Great Hall for meals. The room also obeys Hogwarts' larger wards. It cannot be used to apparate in or out of the castle. Malfoy smuggled Death Eaters into Hogwarts not by breaking these rules, but by repairing a pair of vanishing cabinets, creating a loophole the wards did not cover. This distinction matters. The room can provide opportunity, but it does not override magical law. The Room of Requirement shows how even spaces built from magic still acknowledge the boundaries of what wands cannot do. And if you think the limits of wands are fascinating, wait until you see the 6 levels of magical sensitivity, the hidden scale that decides who can feel magic, who can resist it, and who can wield it in ways most wizards never even understand.